Hello and good evening to Shamanic Journey number 96 to the subject or the theme of time. And as I look at the word time itself, I find it to be a very interesting word and a very interesting concept. And I'm sure many people could agree as they become a little older in terms of a certain specific time in your life, you do recognize the fact of how things are moving quicker and faster. And yet the clock is holding a pattern or rhythm for us to exist in, as opposed to really understanding that our own time or our own energy is moving at a faster pace than time itself, which creates somewhat of a warp within ourselves, or at least that's how I feel. You can share later on how you feel or you think about that particular concept. But to me, like I ask myself the question, like, what is time? Is it linear, right? Is it going from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, decade to decade? And in terms of our reality in this particular matrix, we look at time as running out. Like certainly the body says sometimes, or the mind says that we have to rush things away. But it's a measurement, right? It's relative to whoever created the clock. And that as a measuring tool creates a bind for us and a pattern for us to fall into, rather than us just working on our own inner clock or our biorhythm. In other words, the clock that we feel within ourselves that is the timing for things to happen when they're supposed to. In essence, what happens is we look at the measurements that exist as an apparatus for us to measure our specific biorhythm against. And whether it means children, having children, reaching that certain status, financial status, whatever a person is striving for on their journey, reaching that spiritual enlightenment, that feeling of evolving. We're all on a path and we all have an individual time or an individual clock. And we can't base that rhythm or that pattern or that linear movement on a clock itself. But although we've been taught to do that, so that becomes somewhat of a big stress for us. And then as I mentioned before, we can look at it as if time is running out or time is going too fast, time is going too slow, depending upon what bracket you're in. When we're young, we look at it as if we want time to move forward. We want to get into a place where we avoid those difficult aspects of ourselves. When we get a little older, we want to go back. But if we actually just accept the place where we're at, then we could really enjoy the moment and the benefits that come from the specific times or places we're in at this moment. So we do exist in the now, never really in the past or the future, although we can go to those places if we choose to. And as I mentioned before, since it's on a linear, or you can view it as linear or not linear, however you want to, it's just a never-ending continuum of our lives that exists. Past lives tying into this present existence, and the ability for us to really go back if we want to experience that timeline. As many people feel, the timelines are running, and there is a continuum within that life itself from the past. And as many people know, we can create our future possibilities by the present moment, by creating or manifesting and seeing things the way we want to. And we could also heal things from the past, but in the present moment. We can resurrect images or the creation of what existed in order for it to shift and change that timeline so that we heal parts of ourselves or we understand parts of ourselves. So as we look at our lives today and the terms of the word time, I'd like you to reflect upon what it means just to surrender to the moment and not feel as if time is an aspect of what's going on. Not something that's not getting in the way of your own rhythm, of your own personal clock. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go on a journey and we will look at the spirit animal. We'll come to a point in the journey itself where we're presented with the spirit animal and to see what information is presented to us on that path and what information it has for us in store. So the process of, again, if you've done this before, you know, but if you haven't, it's a matter of surrendering, allowing information to come into your mind, whether it be visual, smells, sounds, whatever comes, don't dismiss it, allow it to come, and don't block it with your ego. Just whatever is there, take it in and see what information comes about. All right, so we're going to go on a journey. So let's take a deep breath in. And if you can cover your eyes, as I always mention, please do so. Covering your eyes, lying down or sitting up. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling. Taking a deep breath in and inhaling. Exhaling, excuse me. Taking a deep breath in and exhale. And let's go on our journey to time, or what is time to you? Into the forest we go. Taking a deep breath in and inhaling the fresh pine air. Walking past the newly sprouted flowers and leaves and the sounds of birds whistling in the trees. The fresh forest air as we take in its scent. On the path we walk, following the twists and turns. The sun shining on our face, warming us. And up ahead, the entrance to a cave. Walking into the darkness, using our hands to navigate. And seeing the light coming from the other side. We make our way out and walk on a new path. Look to the left, and then to the right. In front of us, we see a spirit animal. We stop. What animal do you see? You acknowledge the animal. Ask it about your time or the concept of time. And you listen for the answers. Deep breath in and exhale. And thank your spirit animal that came your way. You turn back As you head for the cave, you look for the opening into the darkness, using your hands to navigate and seeing the light from the other side. As you make your way out of the cave, you return back to the original path. And you take a deep breath in. As the sun shines warmly on your face. Up ahead, on the left side, is an oak tree. You stop in front of the tree. And you put your arms and hands around it. As you exchange energy. The tree absorbs the positive ions and neutralizes your energy field. You look to the top of the tree and you thank it for this exchange. You take a deep breath in as you release your arms and hands. And you continue on the path, walking out of the forest. Okay, take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Taking a deep breath in again and exhaling. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. Move your hands, move your fingers, move your toes, shrug your shoulders. And when you're ready, come back into the room and open your eyes. Okay, that was Shamanic Journey number 97 to time. And as I mentioned before I started drumming, you know, society puts a specific time frame on the various steps that we take along our journey. You know, a clock, a form of a material, an object that was designed to create time for us. But everyone knows, and each one of us has our own specific biorhythm, our own clock, whether the time we feel comfortable when we wake up, other than obviously constraints of work and other responsibilities. But the times when we sleep, the times when we awake, the times when we eat, everybody has their own clock. And that applies also to the time frames of our lives, of our own development, our own maturity through adolescence, our ability to learn. You know, sometimes people are given up on at an early age. They're not allowed to mature to who they're supposed to be. And society puts a damper on the person and a constraint based on time. You know, like when you go to a doctor, they measure the person's growth based upon a certain schedule. And of course, people fall under the pressure and the fear that's placed upon certain things to conform to a certain standard. I think it's important for us to realize that time is relative to each one of us, and it's not linear. And we don't have to be under the pressure of or constraint again of that word. So today, and as you go through the week, try to look at your life more in a open manner without constraints or pressure, and look at time in a different way. And maybe it'll serve you in a different manner as well. So I hope you have a great day, great evening tonight. And if you're watching this on the replay, I hope you enjoy it. And hopefully you'll join me next Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time You can catch some of my interviews that I have on YouTube, as well as go to my website if you're interested in Akashic record reading or any shamanic work, either in person or cord cutting via computer or energy work. All right. Hope you have a great evening, and thanks again.